So here's a basic pump at Chevron, but nowhere on here is there any sticker anywhere that says that there's ethanol in the fuel. So we would assume that there is 100% gasoline that we're getting with no ethanol cut. But we're gonna go ahead and test that and see if that's true. Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Joey again. You're watching VegasDtech, and today I got a good one for you. We're going to be talking about gasoline. We have to address gasoline right now, guys, with the whole situation that we're having with this skirmish with the Iran and the Strait of Hormuz and the military down there and the oil blockade. It is increasing the prices of fuel all across America. And we're experiencing over $5 a gallon right here in Las Vegas, all right? Now, there's a lot of confusion as to what is going into your gas. So a lot of the situation that I'm hearing right now is I hear people talking about fuel and they're kind of misinformed as to what you're actually putting into your gas tank. And I think right now it has become very important that you need to be educated or at least refreshed as to what it is that you're getting in these fuel pumps, because I'm seeing some definite weird performance issues in my own car. Now, I don't drive a performance vehicle, it's just a little Toyota Corolla, but I have maintained a good record of my performance and also the distance that I'm able to drive in my car. Normally I get about 25 miles per gallon in the city, but lately I have been noticing that miles per gallon has dropped to around 22. Now I know you guys might be thinking 3 miles per gallon probably is not a lot, but it's a lot to me, and I want to know why. Why is it that performance has gone down? When I hit that gas, I don't get that that power that I used to get, and I'm not getting the kind of range that I get. And guys, trust me, as a former mechanic, I'm always on top of keeping our vehicles, at least in my family, operating the best way that I can. So I started messing around and testing the fuel, and what I found was surprising. Now, just recently I had to replace Maria's fuel pump in her Santa Fe, and guys, trust me, that is not something anybody wants to deal with right there. Her Santa Fe has 2 fuel pumps in it, right? 2. It's got an auxiliary and a primary. And the price of those fuel pumps, if you get the cheap ones from AutoZone, which I would never put a cheap fuel pump in anybody's car. No need to be stranded over something made in Vietnam that's gonna fail on you. I put the OEM fuel pump. When it comes to fuel pumps, guys, I don't play. I put the real deal in your car. Delphi, OEM, whatever came in the vehicle, let's go ahead and pay for that. That fuel pump runs about $600 per fuel pump. So that's $1,200 in parts right there, not including labor. So I already know that if I were to take it to a shop with $200 an hour labor, we're looking easily $1,500 for a fuel pump repair. But why did it fail? Did it fail because it got old, or did it fail because Maria is using Sam's Club gasoline? Now guys, there are places that I would recommend that you get your fuel and places that I recommend that you don't, all right? For me, I like Chevron. If I have to, I will use Shell or ExxonMobil, and that's about it. Everything else that I see, I try to stay away from that, all right? If I find myself in a situation where I'm stuck somewhere and I'm low on fuel, I'll use what I have to use. But stuff like Arco and 7-Eleven, Circle K, stuff like that, I try not to use that type of gas. Now, inherently, guys, all the fuel is the same to start off with, okay? The federal government and the EPA, they regulate the very base octane that you need to have to be considered fuel. And so at the very core, all the fuel is the same. But each and every one of these brands, they use a different type of additive system, okay? So let's just start off with Chevron. Chevron is gonna use their own additive called Techron, okay? And that Techron is supposed to keep your fuel injectors clean, keep your intakes and valves clean. With Shell, you're gonna have V-Power, okay? That's gonna be their proprietary additive that they add to their fuel to also keep the internals of your fuel system clean. And then ExxonMobil is going to be using what they call Synergy, and that's their additive. A lot of these other guys, dude, they're not top tier. They're just like basic tier fuel. The stuff, like I said, like Arco and 7-Eleven and stuff like that. If you get that gas, it's just got the very minimal standards that's required to be considered legitimate gasoline for your car. Now, guys, just recently, President Trump has authorized, because of this whole skirmish with Iran, the oil is climbing up over $100 a barrel, okay? That's going to create, you know, some pressures on fuel. He has mandated by May 1st, he's going to start allowing the fuel companies to bring back E15 fuel. And I would not recommend E15. E10 is bad enough. E15, guys, if you run this thing too much and your car is not designed for it, could be a very, very bad thing for these fuel pumps, guys, because the extra ethanol that's in the fuel will degrade the seals, the rubber, the plastic, and your fuel system does have rubber and plastics inside of them that make up the fuel system. And like I said, this thing acts as a solvent and it could start to degrade that system. So guys, this is just some friendly advice to keep your cars out of here. A misconception that we have right now is that if there's any ethanol in the fuel, there will be an obvious sticker saying ethanol fuel. Any honest fuel supplier or gas station, they're supposed to show in a conspicuous place how much ethanol content is in their fuel. But everywhere I've gone, I look for it and I don't see it. So here's a basic pump at Chevron, and these are the grades that we have. So you got 87, 89, 91, and diesel. But nowhere on here is there any sticker anywhere that says that there's ethanol in the fuel. So we would assume that there is 100% gasoline that we're getting with no ethanol cut. But we're gonna go ahead and test that and see if that's true. Now, what you're gonna see too is there's gonna be some gas stations that are misleading. They're gonna be providing E15 fuel, but it's not gonna have a button that says E15, because many people like myself are telling you don't use that. If you can avoid it, avoid it. But they hide the E15 label by calling it 88 octane. And many people believe that the premium octane, the high grade octane, is actually better than the lower grade octane, which is just not true. If your vehicle doesn't have a sticker in the gas lid telling you that your vehicle is rated for premium or that it needs it, you guys are just wasting your money and throwing it away. The premium fuel is made for performance motors, and what it does is it prevents detonation or the combustion from happening too soon, making your engine ping and knock and so forth. But that's only for high performance motors. Something like this little teeny guy that I drive, a little teeny Toyota Corolla, it does not have a performance motor. It does not need that premium fuel, and all you're doing is wasting your money. So okay guys, we're over here right now at the gas station. I definitely need to get some gas for the old little scooter. It says unleaded fuel only. And so I only use this guy right here, 87. So let me just go ahead and grab some of that. There's no need to get any of this other stuff. And another thing, guys, when you come to your little machine here, grab this thing here and shake it around. I don't want no receipt. We have a lot of theft inside here where people put these card readers. They look like this, but they're a fake one that slides over the top. Grab it and shake it around before you put your credit card in there to prevent some kind of fraud. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do here, because I want to get a sample of this fuel, I'm going to go ahead and fill this thing up, and we're going to go ahead and test. We're going to go ahead and test this thing right here. So I'm going to fill this thing up, and I'm going to see if there's any ethanol in this fuel that will separate overnight. So I'm going to let this thing set overnight and see if we can see any kind of separation between the fuel and the ethanol, which they say should be 10% inside these fuels. Alrighty guys, so we're back in my garage right now, and I have a couple of bikes in here. One is going to be the Honda Grom, okay? And the other one is going to be my Honda Aero from high school. Neither of those bikes like to run on any of the ethanol. So a lot of the times I'm very concerned as to what I'm putting into the bike. If it's going to be anything more than 10%, I'm going to have to find a way to distill the gasoline just for the bikes. I can't do anything with the car because distilling, 15, 20, 30 gallons, I just can't do anything like that. But I can do maybe 2 or 3 gallons, which these things only take like a gallon at a time, so I could do that. Alrighty guys, so what you see right here, I got 2 samples of fuel. This one came from 7-Eleven, this one came from Chevron. I don't know if this camera can really pick it up. Okay, this is fresh fuel that I got yesterday and I let set overnight. Now down at the very, very bottom, okay, down at the very, very bottom, right around here, there's what's called phase separation. This is supposed to be no ethanol gas. At least the labels don't say anywhere on either of these pumps that there's ethanol, but we're going to test that. Down here at the bottom, when I slosh it around, I can actually see down here some sloshing. That is ethanol. It sits down at the very, very bottom. Can you see this right down here? This is Chevron. And then back over here, I'm going to try to do it again too. I'm going to slosh it around right about here. Can you see that? All right, this is fuel. That is your ethanol right down there. I could see it right there perfectly. Right? Nowhere on the pumps does it say that there's any ethanol. But I know minimum there's 10%. Why? Because it's good for the pocketbook of the fuel companies, okay? I mean, you're paying for 100% gas, but you're getting 90% fuel and 10% ethanol, which is corn alcohol. All right, and then if it goes to the E15, which they're mandating on May 1st, you're going to see a lot of that E15 come out. We do not want to run that if your vehicle cannot run that. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and do a test. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. We're going to go ahead and add some water in this little jug to that black line. And what ethanol does is it scavenges the fuel and it takes moisture and water out. And you will see, if there's any ethanol, you're going to see anything that comes up above that line, anything above that black line will be ethanol if there is any ethanol in this fuel. So let's test it and see what we got, okay? All right, guys, so we have just water here, 7-Eleven gas, and Chevron gas. We're going to go ahead and fill this thing up with water right here, shake it up, and the ethanol should extract. Okay, the water and ethanol should cling. Anything above that line will be ethanol. So let's go ahead and test it and see what we got. All right, so pretty much we have it right on that line right there, guys. That's pure water, okay? Let's go ahead and add some of this 7-Eleven gas to it. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mix this thing up thoroughly. And we're going to let it set for 5 minutes. And I can see right now, I can hear the bubbles. I can hear the bubbles coming out of this thing. Let me see. Can you hear that? It's doing its job right now. Ethanol is starting to scavenge this fuel and bring, I can already tell you guys right there. Take a look. Take a look at this. It hasn't even been 5 minutes. Look at the line. You see that? More and more, and it's cloudy. So that ethanol is definitely in there, and it's adding to the water, and you see it's starting to build up above that line. You can see the phase separation right there. Okay? But we're gonna let it set for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and look at it and see just how much of that actually appeared in the 7-Eleven gas. Alrighty guys, so it's been about 5 minutes. In order for this fuel to get perfectly clear, it's probably gonna need to sit overnight for the cloudiness to go away. I'm just gonna do a 5-minute test. The whole point of this is to show you, even though you think you're getting 100% pure fuel, definitely ethanol is in the mixture already, okay? So this is 5 minutes with the 7-Eleven gas. And you guys can see the separation there. You can see the right here, this too, between here and here. Ethanol, water ethanol fuel, okay? 7-Eleven. All right, and this is the chevron right here. Let's go ahead and test that. Should be right at that line. And then we'll go ahead and put this gasoline in there. Give this thing a shake. And we'll let this thing separate. Come back in 5 minutes and we'll see just how much of this gas mixture of ethanol is there. I can already tell you right there. I can see it already. Check it out. You can see the phase separation already. Water, anything above the water is going to be your ethanol. We'll let it set for 5 minutes, let it settle, and then we'll come back. Alrighty guys, so it's been 5 more minutes and we are back to take a look at the chevron fuel to see how much ethanol that I've actually found inside of it. So if we come down here to take a look, I'm gonna try to get you in here a little bit closer. Yeah, there's the black line, and right above it, you can see the clearness right there. That clear stuff is the ethanol. It does not appear to have very much more. If anything, a little bit less. I would say that the ethanol content in the chevron is probably around 5%, where the 7-Eleven's ethanol content is probably around 7 to 9%. So anyways guys, the whole point of that test right there is to show you that whether you believe it or not, unless you test your fuel, you'll never know. The stuff at the pump, they all have some degree or another of ethanol in there. 5% up to 10%, okay? The new E15 will have 15%. So what sits at the very bottom of your fuel tank, that's gonna be your fuel pump pickup, okay? So it's gonna suck up all that slurry and run it through your system. So what I'm asking you guys to do, guys, is just pay attention when you guys go to the pump there. Take a look at what you're putting in your vehicle. If your vehicle only requires regular, just use regular. If it uses premium, use premium. Do not use the 88 octane, okay? The 88 octane is the E15 disguised to just look like regular fuel, okay? Avoid that at all costs, guys, and stay out of the repair shops, all right? Anyways, guys, this is Joey. You're watching VegasDtech. If you guys like, content like this and doing the neighborhood, ride-arounds, walk and talks and so forth, please do me a kindness. Like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps to support the channel and keep it growing. And I will continue to make more material for you, and maybe even more of this fuel stuff as I find important things to add to it, okay? So anyways, guys, without further ado, it's Joey. You're watching VegasDtech. Thank you again for coming out with me this evening. I will catch you guys on the next upload. You guys be well now. Take it easy.